Hello, my name is Siti Alfia Warda. My student number is 18011011060. Tonight, I want to explain my review of Dani's book. The title is Cyberpunk and Cyberculture. But I immediately want to explain the fourth chapter. And in this chapter, there are 3 sub-chapters, but I want to explain the first chapter first. And in this first chapter, many literary works that contain or tell about cyberpunk, it's totally explained in this first subchapters. And what caught my attention the most was Mona Lisa Overdrive, written by William Gibson. He is a Canadian-American writer. In the book, it explains that it's in Mona Lisa Overdrive that cosmetic surgery becomes a central theme and plot device. This cosmetic surgery is usually used by a person to be able to look charming on their face. It's like from Mona Lisa Overdrive, there is one statement that pops up in my mind that our body, like we call our real body, our touch body, not a suffer and we can change it. This novel demonstrates that the surgical reconstruction of the body is not only a medical process but also, perhaps more importantly, a political and ideological phenomenon. Like the restructured bodies present on the Mona Lisa Overdrive are economically powerless, politically disenfranchised, and sinless, like don't have a single identification number provided by citizens with legal rights. And I just read a snippet of the explanation of Gibson's book, and I totally understand what it means. That it was explained that this Mona felt that there were 2 people in her, like she felt herself and also felt like she was not herself. And then from these scientific developments have influenced the very dominant representations of sexuality and reproduction. In the 19th century, people had an ambivalent attitude toward machines, like they valued new opportunities presented by machines, but at the same time, there the possibility that technology could take over her life. Like machines, women are often interpreted as simultaneously seducing and threatening, as extraordinary beings capable of producing life but unable to produce meaning or values. Moving from a specialist discourse of cosmetic and reproductive surgery to a more panoramic examination of the impact of cyberculture on body gender, it should be noted that contrasting approaches to the relationship between technology and gender are at the heart of some of the most vivid debates in contemporary feminist theory. In the book, it says that many feminist critics acknowledge the inevitability of technology, like everything that happens to women suffering is a result of the patriarchal order that exists in society. Okay, we move to second subchapter. It's about gender's role in cyberpunk. What does it mean? Okay, cyberpunk's approach to gender role is highly ambiguous, as it appears to perpetuate and subvert stereotypical representations of masculinity and femininity. This ambiguity is it's supported by conflicting interpretations of the gender and sexual attributes of some of the most famous cyberpunk characters. According to John Gordon, cyberpunk was originally a masculinist science fiction. He said that men waving guns and knives, competing like all get out and hooked up to the gears with pollution technology. But he also said that when look at the women in mirror shades, it's Molly and Gibson's Neuromancer, deep than Ellie in Cadigan's Mind Players, for instance. He said, aren't they together than the rest? Like she would suggest that cyberpunk is covered feminist science fiction, and the night foray into the underworld, which is the central experience of cyberpunk, men and women travel as equals. And we go to the last subchapters, and the last subchapters discuss about virtual sex, which is like your imagination. I think you can understand what I mean. Virtual sex is free sex, not physically, not do physically. But it may be maybe medically safe, but not mentally. In the book, Gibson's book exemplifies Margarita having sex without her genitals, or you could say she has alternative sex. This alternative version of sexual intercourse doesn't refer to the depth of the body, but rather to the need to extend the conventional notions of desire and pleasure into the hearts of forbidden domains. That's all from me. Sorry for my mistake. Thank you.